boys and girls, secondary school students of Dhamma classes, parents and grandparents, teachers of Dhamma classes. Good morning. May you all be well and happy. Now for this lesson, we are going to do a presentation titled of Comic Strips and Wisdom. Now, I'm sure many of you have at one time or other read comics, or you have enjoyed reading comics and comic strips. Now, we are going to look at some comic strips, and then we will reflect and discuss the Dhamma lessons or the life lessons that we can learn from these comic strips. Now, the comic strips I've chosen involve jokes and humor, so that will make it more interesting for you. So, as usual, we'll launch the PowerPoint and then go over the many comic strips that I have chosen for you in order to learn some important life lessons or Dharma. So we shall now launch the PowerPoint. So you see the first slide. And let us look at this one here. Oh, this is just the cover slide. So I don't have to go over the comic strips for the cover slide here. All right. Some of the words are not so clear. So this is just a cover slide. So this is what we mean by comic strips. And some of these are created by people using certain programs, or you can go to certain websites and create your cartoons and your avatars or characters, and then put in the bubble speeches to convey the messages or to tell the jokes. So this is a very good creative thing to do. Now, this is just an introduction of comic strips and wisdom. And here, this one, you are very familiar with the various comics you have read. And you might have read Iron Man, Superman, Flash, Spider-Man, and all these very famous Marvel comics. They have been made into movies, right? And many of them have also good lessons we can learn of how the Superman or the Iron Man all try to help people by conquering the evil people that cause terror in the world. So this is the cover slide also. Now let's now start with the comics. Now let us look at this first one here. You can see two children. Now what does the first one say here? Now here number one means we read this first. When my grandfather died, he left me $50,000. And this girl who heard this, maybe she was not so happy. She said, that's nothing. When my grandfather died, he left the earth. Actually, when you say leaving the earth means you have passed away lah. But here she's thinking, oh, you see, my grandfather could leave me the whole earth and all. Wow, so much more. So this is a thing for us to reflect. Now, of course, one thing here he says here, when we think smartly, we can respond well to a boast. Basically, two of them are trying to boast. Like, for example, this boy tells others that the grandfather left him 50,000. Whether it's true or not, we also don't know. So you see, sometimes there are people who like to boast. They're very proud. And the thing that they say may not be true, but they just want to impress others to boast about lah. And that is not a good thing. To be boastful, to be proud, to be arrogant, to think highly of yourself is not a good thing. So don't be a boast, don't be a proud person, be humble. All right. So that is the reflection we can do. Now let's look at the second strip. Now we read this first. Number one. As we all know, the law of gravity explains why we stay on Earth. Probably this is the teacher. You can see the blackboard trying to explain gravity, the law of gravity. But this student is quite ignorant. He said, teacher, but how did people stay on Earth lah before the law was passed? Before the law was passed, then we cannot stay on Earth lah. We will fall off lah, isn't it? But he doesn't understand. Or maybe he's trying to be funny that the law of gravity is a natural law, right? That it will a mass will pull onto a person. If you don't have the law of gravity, how are you going to stand on the globe, right? On Earth lah, which is a curved surface and it rotates. So I think you know gravity, that when you throw something up, that thing will fall down, isn't it? So from here we see it's very important to have knowledge. Otherwise, we can say very foolish things when people try to teach us certain things, or when we hear certain things and we don't understand. Probably it's better if you don't understand, you can ask. And if you are not sure of certain things, it's better not to say, because people will know that you are so ignorant. You say foolish things. Whereas you ask when you don't know, that is something wise, right? Because I don't know about that. So you can perhaps say to the teacher, teacher, can you explain more about this law of gravity? Why is it like that? And what are the laws that govern it? We know when things are thrown up, right, they will drop down. Like the apple falling from the tree onto the ground. The apple doesn't go up, it goes down because of gravity, the pull of gravity. So this is a point to remember, that do not say foolish things because you are ignorant. If you're not very sure, then ask. So here you see the comic strip. So the animated image lah. Everyone shows humor, laughter. Now let's look at this. Now this person, number one. And what little girl are you going to be when you grow up? You know what this little girl said? I wanna actually means I want to be lah. I want to be a blonde secretary so that my daddy will go out with me sometimes. Now this is maybe more suitable for adults or even secondary students, right? Form 5, Form 6. The next time when you grow up and become parents, you have to be careful, right, of your behavior. Little children, they observe and remember, what the teachers, what the parents, the uncles, aunties, and adults do. And because they have already observed you, so this is in their mind. So in this case here, probably this little girl has been seeing the father going out with the blonde secretary, Probably the father is flirting around with some beautiful women, even though he has a wife, and that is not good, isn't it? So that's what she told the man who asked, what are you going to be when you grow up? Actually, usually you reply, oh, I would like to be a teacher, I would like to be a doctor, I would like to be an architect, and so on. But you see, he answers this way, I want to be a blonde secretary, very beautiful. So you see, she remembers what she has seen. Let's look at the next strip. Now, the first person here, the lady, if you love work, why don't you find it? Probably this man is, not of good character, lazy. And not only that, he's maybe a hamsap person that likes to, tackle girls and so on. So this actually is just a question from this lady. If you love work, you say you love work, then why don't you find it? You should say that I have been trying, right? But it's so difficult to get a suitable work for me, and I've been rejected. But he says, I love work, but lady, love is blind, lor. So I cannot find work, lor. It is blind. So from here you can see that one who is lazy to work can think of all kinds of excuses. Now, being lazy, not diligent, not hardworking is not a good thing, isn't it? Diligence is a very important quality. That means to be hardworking. Then only you can be successful. Now, some people do not succeed because of sheer laziness. They do not work hard. You find the great inventors or the great scientists have made fantastic discoveries because of their diligence. They are very hardworking. They try, and then also they do not give up easily. They are persistent. They persevere on even though they have failed a number of times. That is good, not to give up so easily. But what is emphasized here is diligence. Do not give excuses when you cannot do something or you are not successful. You cannot say, yeah, this one, like that lah. Give all the excuses. As you have the English proverbs, a bad workman blames his tools, isn't it? We should practice diligence. So that is this one. Now look at this comic strip that is on a beach. I think all these comic strips I created long time ago, some time ago, using certain websites. This is a Tundu. Anyway, this is a comic strip. And number one, this person, this little boy on the beach, the mommy does not allow him to go out into the waters to swim because he's too young. And also, it can be dangerous. Say, mommy, you said I can't go in to swim because it's far too deep, but daddy is swimming. So, these small children like to follow what the adults do because they are young, they don't know how to think. As you see, sometimes young people try on certain things which are dangerous. This is actually foolishness or foolhardiness. They just trade in something, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. That's the proverb there. So it is a logical reason where the mommy did not allow him to go to the waters and play on the beach, and then the mommy will keep an eye on it. So the mother said something which is very funny. Instead of explaining the reason, she said, yes, daddy can go swimming, but you cannot because he's insured. His insured means he has bought insurance lah. So if anything happens to him, then there is a lot of money coming in ma. That is not a good reply, but it's a joke, you see, a humorous situation, right? And this shows, or this points out to us that many people in the world are very, very materialistic, thinking of money alone. So we have to think, has money become more important than anything else? There are very many things which are more important than money, isn't it? Like love, practicing good things, kindness, generosity, good morality, and so on. But now today in the world, people are so money-minded. They sometimes do even the wrong things in order to get the money, like corruption, bribery, and so on. Correct or not? So this is for us to reflect on this point. Do not just be money-minded or every time money, money. And then some children, they have learned all this. Even young people, adults also, they have learned this not good thing. What is that? They will not want to help. They do not want to do that thing. And then you know what they'll say? No money, no talk. You have heard of that. So that is not a good thing. Actually, of course, this is just a joke. What the mommy should have said would be to explain it properly. Oh, that's because daddy is more mature, he's older, he knows how to swim very well, and he can take care of himself in case there's any danger. You are very, very young, you still have to learn how to swim properly, then the time will come where you can go. And that is the way to explain to children, isn't it? Sometimes parents give reasons or explanations which are not good, which convey the wrong message. Let's look at the next one. Now, what does this comic strip tell us? Now, these two men talking, right? Why did you hit your wife with a chair? And then what this friend of his said, because I could not leave the piano. That's just a joke, right? So two of them were, talking. Then, of course, this man had probably heard, or maybe he's a lawyer, right? Because the wife had sued the husband for hitting her with a chair, causing her harm. It could be like this. And then this man said, because I couldn't leave the piano. In other words, he very angry. He said that if I could leave the piano, I would hit her with the piano, make it worse rather than just the chair. Oh, this is a joke. But the thing is, when you reflect, you find this is a question of anger. We have to be very careful of anger. I've seen even some young people, right, very, very hot-tempered. Even children. Some children have become very, very hot-tempered, impatient, restless, right? And when you are always overcome by anger, you can cause somebody to be hurt. In other words, anger can cause one to do the unthinkable, to do terrible things, to slap the person, to give the person a terrible hit. So it is very important for you to realize this, the importance of controlling our anger. And in Dhamma teachings, we know that anger and hatred, and with the other things like aversion, jealousy, all these are what we call in Pali dosa. Dosa translates as hate. And it is a mental defilement. That means it is something unwholesome. Unwholesome means unskillful, not good in your mind. And it can bring about terrible consequences. And according to Dhamma teachings, if a person always gets angry and is hateful, this creates bad karma. And this bad karma will be in the mind and it will bear fruits. That means the bad results will come. So when the person passes away, you can get reborn into the suffering states, or what we call the woeful states. Like being an animal, raised to be reborn as an animal, or to be reborn in hell, or maybe even as a hungry ghost, because he doesn't have any good blessings anymore. Mostly hate and jealousy and anger prevail in the mind, and his actions are driven by these sort of things. He doesn't do good things or very little. So that is the lesson we have to learn. Now let us look at this. This is in the bar. In the bar, people go there to drink alcohol, minuman, arak lah. There are so many types of whiskey lah, brandy lah, vodka lah. Wow, I don't know. I don't do any drinking at all because it is in our precepts. Now, anyway, let's look at this guy whose name is Mr. Whiskey Key. Now, Whiskey Key is a name I coined to tell you that he is a fan of whiskey. Whiskey is a very famous brand for liquor lah. Whiskey, not brand. It's a type of liquor, just as you have brandy and other vodka or other liquors. So this is just a comment here, right? A comment on this. So Mr. Whiskey really likes to drink. It makes him see double and feel single. This, of course, is involving language, or we call a pun, right? Or maybe double meaning sort of sentence. There's a double meaning. So actually, if you look at the picture, you might get the message. So when a person drinks, he can become intoxicated if he has taken too much. If he is drunk. And when a person is drunk, he is capable of doing all the wrong things, like scolding, beating the wife, or behaving in a very shameful manner, and many unwholesome actions of the speech and the body. He can even take out his clothes and dance all over because he's drunk. He loses his mindfulness, his clear thinking already. So that is not something good, isn't it? When you cause trouble to others, people have to tend to you, bring you back, and then you can also be a danger, like drunken driving, for example. When you drive in a drunken state, you can cause accident, you can harm yourself, and worst thing, can harm others. So this case here is drunk already. So in the bar, he's drunk already. So there's a beautiful lady coming along, and this lady also not properly dressed, just in the bikini. Wow! Instead of seeing just one lady, he sees two. Wow, two beautiful ones. So then after that, you will say some nonsense things, wrong things. So beware of alcohol. It can lead one to misconduct, to do unwholesome things, wrong actions, giving wrong speech. So this is a lesson about keeping the fifth precept. In the fifth precept is we must not take liquor or intoxicating drinks or drugs because the harmful effects are many, and not only in this life but in future lives. Of course, people who have become what you call kaki bottle, they have become addicted to liquor. They can have later on problems of the health because the liquor can affect the liver, the lungs, the brain. So many harmful effects of liquor if you become mabuk. Now, this is another one also pertaining to liquor, all right, on the fifth precept, because the fifth precept is very important. Now we see many even young people, getting mabuk, intoxicated, and drunken driving. You find all over the world. You have heard of cases, people become drunk and then they still drive and accidents come about. Now, this one, again, another name that we give is Mr. Wokaka. It's vodka. Vodka is another of those intoxicating drinks. So his name is Mr. Vodka because he's crazy over vodka. So Mr. Vodka is actually a very shy man. But when he's on liquor, that means when he takes liquor, like vodka or whiskey or other hard drinks, all his inhibitions go and the exhibitions come. Now, this is a statement of wit. Inhibitions means you are shy to do certain extroverted things. Like, people are sometimes inhibited, they are shy, they don't want to dance and they don't want to sing or so on. So this person used to be a shy person, but the moment he is drunk because of the drinking, then he can do all sorts of terrible things, and like giving an exhibition, giving a show, like in this case here, you take out his shirt or his whatever dress. You can even take out his trousers and maybe just with the underwear and then dancing around, and other people will laugh and he thinks that he's very smart. So he's doing something very, very shameful. And later on, he will regret when he becomes sober again, when the effects of intoxication go off. Then people tell him he becomes very, very shy and he loses the reputation, isn't it? People will not think well of him already because he has done something foolish, shameful in public. Of course, at home, he also can behave in a terrible way, as I said just now, can beat the children or can beat even the wife. So you see, there are a lot of ill effects of liquor and intoxication. Now, let us go on to the next one. Now, look at this strip. So this lady, what does she say? Boy, why are you telling everybody that your teacher hasn't seen an elephant? This is the mother talking to the son. So, hey, why are you telling everybody that your teacher hasn't seen an elephant? Then the son replied this way. Last week, teacher asked us to draw an elephant. When I finished and showed it to the teacher asked me, oh God, what the hell is this? He's so naive, he doesn't understand. He was asked to draw an elephant. Of course, he couldn't draw the thing well, so he simply drew. And then the teacher said, oh God, what the hell is this? And the teacher should not be using such harsh words also. The teacher said, boy, you have not drawn very clearly of the thing, right? I can teach you how to draw a simple cartoon elephant and so on. But the teacher commented, they say, oh God, what the hell is this? And also this discourages the boy, isn't it? So it's not good speech, right? It's not good speech from the teacher. And the boy, because he doesn't understand this speech, so he concludes that my teacher has not seen an elephant. That's why he's saying, hey, what is this? What is this? What the hell? And using very harsh words also, not good words, isn't it? So a few things we have to consider. First, the way we speak, and secondly is it is good to know things, to have knowledge. Of course, it's young, but we have to learn more. So, of course, if the boy understands what the teacher is saying, then, of course, he will not go wrong and tell people, my teacher is so stupid. She has not seen an elephant. Then people will say, oh, this is not a smart boy. Right? This is a joke, of course, but it tells us things like, for the adults, we must be careful of the speech we use. For the children, it is important to have more and more knowledge so we understand things better. So that is this. Now I go on to the next strip. Now, this particular man, he could be a teacher, comes to class wearing dark glasses. That means like sunglasses, dark spectacles like that. So the children are very fascinated that instead of wearing the normal glasses, you put on sunglasses. Maybe it could be certain reason. So they start talking. So this, they actually is the teacher. So this boy tells the teacher, right? You want to look cool, sir? Cool means to got style, very lack who lack want to look cool. Then this little girl say, hey, sir, your mother forced you to wear them. And then this one says, I think your eyes must be brightening, So then this smart Alec says, easy, sir. Because he wants to answer the question, do you know why I want to wear dark glasses? The teacher asked. And then say, easy, sir, because all your pupils are very bright. This is the smartest word he uses. a very, very clever way of speaking. Double meaning. Pupils can mean students, and pupils also can mean the pupils of the eyes. In the eyes, you have the round ball, that is the pupil. So your pupils very, very bright. So very bright, the students very bright. So you want to protect your eyes, so you wear this. So you see that children can be very, very creative. So sometimes you can be creative, but you must not be insulting, right? Not say the wrong things like, trying to tell lies or speak bad about other people or use harsh words or empty gossip. Be creative. This teacher wants to teach about maybe the use of sunglasses. Probably he had just undergone the cataract operation, and in the bright sun is uncomfortable, so you have to wear sunglasses for some time. So, but anyway, later on he would explain. Now let's look at the next one. So now let's look at this. So this is a husband and wife. So probably they are going out for a party or for a show or whatever. So every time the husband has to wait for the wife. Say, aren't you ready yet? Ask the wife. Then the wife, dilly-dally, very slow. Yeah, I've been telling you for the last 1 hour already that I will be ready in a minute. 1 minute I'll be ready. I've been telling you for 1 hour. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Not logical. You'll be ready for 1 minute, but you have been giving the same excuse for 1 hour. 1 hour has passed already, and you say, I'll be ready in 1 minute. So this is a very important lesson is, of course, this is not speaking clearly. That's why we can be ridiculous, utterly absurd when we lack a clear mind. But the more important point for us to reflect is punctuality. We must be punctual. Don't let people wait for us for a long time unnecessarily without a reasonable excuse. Probably this lady is taking her time to put on the makeup, the powder, the lipstick, and then to choose the dress that she wants to wear, and so on and so on. So this husband is getting very impatient. So being unpunctual or wasting time dilly-dallying is not a good thing. Wisdom tells us that people don't like others who are unpunctual and also waste other people's time, So this is something very important to learn, importance of punctuality, keeping time well, so on. Now let's look at this one. So this man probably, right, was with this lady, and then they were looking at some of the young women dancing. Then she said to this man, I can't give you another dance, but I'll introduce you to the prettiest girl here. Right, prettiest girl here. And then you know what this man said? I don't want to dance with a pretty girl. I want to dance with you. So this lady, when she heard this man saying, I don't want to dance with a pretty girl, I want to dance with you, which means that she's not pretty. That he wants to dance with her because she's not pretty. I don't want to dance with a pretty girl. So that's what this lady is interpreting now, telling me I'm not pretty. So you see, this lady is reacting and she becomes angry. She acts negatively because he has interpreted the words in a negative way and get angry. So this man, of course, using the words which can cause ambiguity or not clear. He should say that, no, I don't want to dance with any of those girls. I don't need to say pretty right? I don't want, right? I love you. You are my wife, so I will dance with you. Right? I know I prefer to dance with you, but the way you speak is very important. Saying the wrong thing can bring about trouble. So that is point of right speech or wise speech, wisdom. Now let us look at this one here now. Number one, you say, I know I proposed to you last night, but I can't remember whether you accepted or not. Oh, that is a, terrible thing. The poor memory. I proposed to you, will you marry me now? But I cannot remember whether you accepted or not. Then this girl said, I knew I said no, yes, and no to somebody last night, but I couldn't remember to whom I said. Oh, I hit back already. So you see that sometimes it's very funny. One point that we can learn is that if we are not mindful and can remember things, this can cause hardship also. Right. So this is a question of mindfulness, right? And also having a good memory. And you practice mindfulness, your memory will be better. But this involves the question of marriage and proposing. As I said, this man are proposing to this lady, right? And then later on, he said they cannot remember. And this lady, maybe once you hit back, I'll say that, yeah, I said no, but then I cannot remember saying no to whom. So you see, many young people, for those who are Form 5, Form 6, or the Buddhist youths, you have to be careful. The next time you have to take marriage more seriously. If you don't take marriage so seriously now, you see so many marriages end up in divorce. It's terrible, isn't it? So this is something that we have to think about, to be more serious about issues that are important, like a marriage institution. Now, look at this, the next one. Right. This lady asked this man, how did you break your engagement to Sally? You say your girlfriend or your fiancée Sally, you all were already engaged. Why did the two of you break up? How did that happen? She's asking this man. And then this man say, everything was quite okay, But when I just told her my salary, she decided to break up already. So, the reason behind is a money world. When the fiancé realized that he did not earn a very high salary, that was the end of things already. That's why I didn't want to continue into the marriage already. So beware. Today, as I said just now, many people are very money-minded. Right? They think that money is the one that will give you all the happiness and peace. Money is important, used in the right way, but it is not the only thing. So you find so many people have problems. So even though they have money, isn't it? You have heard of people committing suicide, famous rich people. So be careful. Wisdom tells us that there are very many important things. Harmony between people, love, metta, compassion, kindness, helpfulness, right? Understanding other people, many things. People don't pay attention to that. Some girls will think we will only marry a man who have a big car, a big house, fat salary, and so on. Other things they don't consider that important. That is a mistake. That's why I have so many problems today. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now, look at this one. This is a scene, it's actual photograph. I think I remember I took in Cameron Highlands. So what did this lady say to this man? Say, why are you so angry with Tom? I thought Tom is a good friend of yours. Then this man said, he used to be until he introduced me to my wife. That means this is of course a joke. In other words, his marriage was not successful. It was failing already. So he was regretting marrying that woman. And then when he started to think back, oh, this was my friend Tom Kepochi introduced me to this present wife of mine, and then I married her, and now you see I'm suffering. Wow. It's terrible, no? Right? To blame other people except yourself. So you have to be careful of this. There's a point of wisdom that we tend to blame other people rather than seeing the faults of ourselves. The Buddha said, it is easy to see the fault of others, but our own faults we hide like a fowler in disguise. So we don't see our own weaknesses. So of course, if his marriage did not work, it could be his character also. Now you can see that he is probably one of bad temper or did not treat the wife well and so on. So now he's blaming other people, friend Tom. This is just a joke, but the lesson is important. Now let's look at this. It's on the beach, right? The beach scene. So this man, is a salesman, right? He was trying to sell, some sort of a tonic lah. So hair tonic, yes, right? So he said, come and buy. This one is not really a sub joke lah, right? But anyway, I think you Form 5, Form 6 students, secondary students would understand this. Now they see even worse, much worse things on the internet. Some of them not good. But this one actually is just a lesson. You hardly have any hair and yet you want to sell all this hair tonic to me. You want to sell hair tonic saying that if you put on the hair tonic, your hair will not drop off and you will not become botak head. You will not become bald. So this lady saying this, saying, you are not convincing. You say you have this hair tonic is very effective, but then how come you yourself don't have the hair? Then this man, you know what he replied? Anything wrong with that? He says, my brother is a very successful salesman. He sells brass. He's trying to say his brother, of course, is a man, a male, isn't it? The male. But he's selling braziers, brass only ladies wear, isn't it? Because ladies have breasts. Men don't wear brass. So he said that my brother very successful as a salesman. And what does he sell? He sells brass, even though he's a man. So why? What's wrong? So I'm having no hair, botak, but why can't I sell hair tonic? So you have to be very careful of some people can con you. So some salesmen can be very convincing. They are ready to lie. And of course, in the world, there are many people who lie and cheat and so on. I'm not saying that he is, but we have to be careful, right? They know how to use the words twist here and there and lie, to get something out of you. So that's what we have to be careful of. Now look at this one. This is in one of the parks. Actually, most of the background photos are actual photos taken some years ago already. Now, and this girl tells this boy in the park, I heard that you said some girls are bad, but that I am an exception. This girl says that, I heard, maybe somebody told her that you said some girls are bad, but I'm different. I'm exception. Accept me lah. In other words, he's saying. And then this boy, very, let's call it. You can say he's creative or what, but then using wrong words. He say yes, exceptionally bad. Exceptionally bad means very bad lah. Terribly bad lah. It's very insulting, isn't it? Right? Where you say, yeah. Right? I've come across many girls, not you lah, except you lah. But no, he say exceptionally bad. I use a word that pertains to exception, but it is this that you are exceptionally bad. Wow, I tell you, you use such insulting words. Sometimes the quarrels and fights come about. So the words that one uses unmindfully, not mindful, not careful, you can hurt other people and it can lead to a lot of problems. That's why in the precepts, we have right speech, Right speech, must not tell lies, must not say divisive speech, or must not slander, talk bad about other people, the second point. And the third one is not to use harsh words or words that can hurt other people, just like this boy is using, exceptionally bad. That is wrong, not a good speech. And then fourth one is the gossip. Now look at this one. This is a background of a mosque. So this man says, darling, I think you are the eighth wonder of the world. Actually, you know about the seven wonders of the world, isn't it? Like Great Wall of China, the Taj Mahal, right? And then, of course, you have many now new wonders of the world, pyramids also. Your pyramids an ancient wonder. So actually, we all talk about seven wonders of the world. So this man wants to, praise this, maybe not sincerely. He said, don't let me catch you with any of the other seven. All right. So actually, he's not very sincere. No? So this lady knows he is flirting, trying to fool around with other ladies, even though he may be married. Say, he could be the wife actually, because he said, darling, I think you are the eighth wonder of the world. Praising the wife. So the wife can see through. They don't let me catch you with any of the other seven, which means the other seven girls that you flirt around with. Very, very smart answer. So there are, of course, some men who are honest and faithful. I think unlikely is this one, right? But some are flirtatious. They are not honest and they are not faithful. They cheat on their wives and they tell lies. They are dishonest and they don't mean what they say. So later on, when you grow up, now also from now, you are young, maybe youths, you must be careful, right? Otherwise, you get into the habit of lying, being dishonest, and you have a bad reputation and character, and you are going to ruin your future. So that is this very important point. These two people, right? These two ladies lah, right? Meeting, maybe in the tourist site. There's, I think, a beautiful mosque here, right? So this lady, she doesn't look beautiful lah. So she tells another one, says, my only sin is vanity. Vanity means self-pride lah. Wow, a person who is vain. That means he always thinks, wow, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, right? I'm clever. So this is vanity. This vanity is self-pride. Very proud of yourself. It's not a good thing, isn't it? Humility is a virtue. Vanity, pride, arrogance are not virtues. So you know what she said? I look into my own mirror every morning and I think how beautiful I am. How beautiful I am. Very proud. This vain, And then this lady, she knows that she doesn't look beautiful. Then straight away she points out to her, that is not a sin, looking in the mirror, right? And thinking that you are proud. That's not a sin. That is just a mistake. A mistake, the mistake that you look in the mirror and you think you are beautiful, actually you're ugly. So it's just a mistake. So now the thing is, again, it involves speech. So do we need others to point out our own ego or mistakes? Two people also have weaknesses in their character. One is vanity, which means self-pride. And the other one is maybe not so diplomatic, telling off the person in a very rude manner, very hurtful manner. Then I think she can use better words. Then she can say, oh, I see, something like that, right? Then she can even try to teach her a good lesson. I look in the mirror, I find that, well, all of us have their good points, their weaknesses. Some parts are more beautiful, some parts are not so beautiful. I look in the mirror, I see myself like that. Maybe she's more humble and she can convey a better thing, isn't it? Rather than straight away tell you, you made a mistake, you're so ugly, look at this. So this man met the friend at the busy beach. This is again one of the Malaysian beaches. So I bought a book title. He was telling the friend, I bought a book title, How to Be the Boss in Your Own Home. But my wife hasn't permitted me to read it yet. Right? these two brothers are complaining about the wives. This one was saying, he was saying, when my wife is present, the only time I get to open my mouth is when I yawn, yawn, sleepy. Only have chance to talk. All right. When my wife is present, she does all the talking, And this person say, "Ayo, my wife, he is actually telling the friend that he is a handpacked husband, but he didn't say directly. That means under the control of the wife lah. So somebody recommended him a book. You read this book lah, how to be the boss in your own home. You must be firm. You are a man. You must also have your own opinion, views, or things like that. So I try to read the book, but my wife has not allowed me to read that book. Still under the control. So you find this more suitable for the youth, right, or the adults. Handbag husband. So in a relationship, it's important to have a give and take. Give and take. You should not control, we should not control one another, isn't it? Right? So this one will cause a strain in relationship, even between the between husband and wife, between two people who are friends. One should not try to control the other. It should be I know I've interacted with various types of students. Now in this pandemic, they give me, some of them call up for some counseling or things like that. And some they will just keep on talking. So I just listen. When somebody just talks on and on. Actually, we should, allow other people the opportunity to speak also. And then if they are quiet, then maybe it's time for you now to say something nice or things like that. So anyway, handbag husbands are bullied and they suffer. So this one is an important point for relationship. Yeah, the wisdom tells us for good relationship, we must have a give and take, understand one another, do not try to control another person, right? Respect another person also. So these are the points of wisdom. Now we have come more or less to the end already. This is the end already of the presentation of the comic strips. So just to let you see this, I've taken two shots, one of one part of Teluk Intan. It's actually, this part is near the famous clock tower of Teluk Intan. I did not show the clock tower. And this is the second building of PBHP. We have three big buildings, three-story buildings, three big buildings. This is the second one, right? It's the Dhamma building. So, and then here, just at the end of this presentation, we want to express our good wishes, our metta to you. So there is this wish. Of course, I use just a cartoon strip again, cartoon character. Then may you grow in wisdom from seeing the humorous side of life. As you know, this presentation uses a number of jokes, right? And there is humor there. So we can actually try to learn some important life lessons to reflect. That's what I'm doing, rather than just to give you a lesson or on this part of the Dhamma, on this life lesson and blah, blah, blah. Then you may find it boring. So instead, you listen to a joke first. Then after that, I tell you some wisdom life lessons of wisdom. So that is just one approach. So remember, those are comic strips of jokes and humor. But the important thing is actually the life lessons and the Dhamma. So here, these character wishes, this thing for you, may you all grow in wisdom. When you are able to see the humor side in life, there are so many humorous situations, you are able to see the wisdom from even the jokes that you read. Do not be offended easily. Certain things that happen, maybe not to your liking. Well, you can take it well. You see the humor of it, right? Laugh it off, as you say. Then you'll be more healthy physically and mentally. And because this man, he represents PBHP, he said, may you all be well and happy. And these cartoon strips all now, this one says, welcome to Teluk Intan, these characters. And this Mickey Mouse is welcome to PBHP. So now we have come to the end of the presentation. And this is really the end slide already. So there is a wish for you again. May the light of wisdom dispel the darkness of ignorance in us. Now, I will explain this. Now, inside us, we are ignorant of many things. And we are ignorant of the Dhamma, very important. And we have delusion, right? Having the wrong views. And then also because of ignorance, in our mind, we have lots of terrible things like greed, lust, hatred, anger, jealousy, ill will. All these will cause us suffering. So it's just like a mind that is very dark. So now our aspiration is that we have the wisdom, the light of wisdom. But this light of wisdom cannot come just like that by reading the books or by, somebody telling you. You have to learn the Dhamma and reflect on it, practice on it, contemplate, then slowly, wow, wisdom is not cleverness. No, you have professors who can become terrorists. Right. So the wisdom will come, knowing what is right, what is wrong, being able to see the true nature of things, what actually things are. So that is wisdom. A person that has wisdom, just like the perfect wisdom will be Buddha. So then your ignorance will go off already. All those defilements, greed, hatred, delusion will go on, and then your mind will be filled with more happiness, peace, calmness. Your mind will really free in the sense that not being chained up like a prison, not being chained up by all the Mara forces, the evil forces of anger, hatefulness, jealousy, and so on. Just like in a room, if the room is very, very dark and you move around, because of the darkness, you may kick this furniture, that piece of furniture, you kick something, then you fall and hurt yourself, isn't it? But if I have a candle or you have a torchlight, then you can see, then you won't meet with the accident of kicking the furniture and so on. So likewise, if you clear the darkness in your mind, as I told you, with all those evil things or bad things or Mara, then your mind just like a lighted room. Wow, you wouldn't have that much dukkha. Dukkha goes down just as a lighted room. Then you wouldn't fall or kick something or have an accident. Hopefully you don't even kick the bucket. Kick the bucket means you have a terrible fall in the dark room, right? So that's the end. So this is the last wish. May you be well and peaceful. So before we conclude, so I would like to thank all of you. This one is more suitable for the secondary students, particularly from 5, from 6, Buddhist youth, college students, and of course parents and grandparents, because they also can learn some life lessons. And of course, all practicing Buddhists also are welcome to look at this presentation. So without all of you, I can't do this presentation also. So this is now available in the net, so you can view it anytime. Right? It's not a live stream or something like that. So to conclude, let us say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Students, teachers, parents, and grandparents, and all of you who are watching, may you all be well, happy, and peaceful. Do have the Dhamma with you always. Take care.